In this video, we're going to review the outcome of some recent trade alerts for our market hours option alerts service. So today, the day that this is being filmed is December the 27th, and I'm going to review some option alerts that came out on December the 20th, 1 week ago. And these are for trade alerts that are for trade setups that are intended to be held for 1 week. And so you can see, for example, for this option trade alert, it gives you an entry price and it also shows you an exit date that's December 27th, which is today. And the time of the exit is at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is the opening bell of the stock market. And so let's look at a couple. I'm going to show you the outcome of two different trade alerts from that day. And one of them did not turn out to be a winner and the other one did. And I'm just going to walk you through them and show you how they look. So this first one is for XLU. And again, you can see that we alerted this on December the 20th. This shows you exactly when we alerted it. And this shows you the exact option that was alerted. So it was the December 29th call option. You can see that expiration date is about 9 days, about a week out from the date that the alert was sent. And it's a $60.50 strike price call option. So if you go over to XLU over here, again, the trade alert was sent on December 20th, which is this day right here, and it was sent right around here. We indicate the exact price of the option when the entry occurred, when the trade alert was sent. So the entry was right here, and the exit was set to be at the opening bell on this date. And the value at the opening bell on this date was $2.38. So this one ended up going down in price by the exit date if you were to follow the trade in lockstep with the way it was designed to be held, by exiting right at that opening bell. So that one ended up in a small loss. You can see along the way that it actually came down noticeably along the way. And so the value of that option actually got down lower, than the $2.38 final price. So for this particular one, it may have paid off to just be patient and wait for it to run its course and to indeed hold it all the way until the date specified. Of course, you never know exactly what's going to happen with any given trade. It could go up or down, or you don't know exactly what's going to happen next in the market. So sometimes it pays to be patient and sometimes it doesn't. If you like the idea of using your own discretion, go for it. You can do whatever you want with these trade ideas. We provide the information and you use them in whatever way you want to try to profit. If you don't like the idea of using discretion, you kind of just want to follow along with the game plan, then you can simply enter the trade when we post a trade alert, and then you exit it at the date specified. That's how you would follow the trade setup in lockstep with the way it was designed and in the way that corresponds here with these backtest results. Okay, so that's how the XLU trade turned out. It was a loss, but not too bad of one. Could have been worse, but it turned out okay. Now let's come down here. Here's DXCM, and let's look at this one. It's the 113 strike call option, also December 29th. Oops, I typed in the wrong one there. So DXCM, this was alerted on December the 20th on this date. And the entry was right around that blue line, actually. And you can see this one turned out really well. This one is kind of the epitome of getting in right at the right time because it was coming down hard. And sometimes when the price is coming down, there's this term in trading that sometimes is used, which is catching a falling knife. So you don't want to catch something that's falling and it's just going to keep falling, right? It could not be good for you. That said, we look at history and we use that as a guide to determine when the odds might be in your favor of the price going back up. And in the case where there's a solid uptrend and there's a pullback, a lot of times research suggests that in general, the price may be more likely to go up from that point than to go down. And so in that case, it's not really catching a falling knife, it's buying low and selling high. It doesn't always work out, of course. There's nothing that's guaranteed in the stock market. But in this case, it did work out. And so this particular trade had the same exact setup as far as when to sell. The entry was $5.13 on this particular call option, and the exit called to sell at the opening bell of this particular day, December the 27th. And so let's see that particular one, that was $11.02. So if you bought this at $5.13 and sold it at the opening bell, the intrinsic value of the option at that point was $11.02. And so that one would have been a solid profit. You would more than doubled the return of your investment if you paid $5.13 for it. So that one turned out well. An interesting theme worth pointing out is that this one, the XLU trade, had really solid back-tested results. 334% annualized returns for buying a call option trade setup like this one in the past for XLU when this particular trade setup had occurred in the past for it. And this one was an 81.8% annualized return. Yet this one ended up performing way better. And that's part of what you should be aware of as you take these trades, is that you never know for sure what's about to happen next. The whole point of this service is to put the information at your fingertips so that you have odds in your favor, so that you have history backing up your decisions. So rather than making a blind trade on a setup that may have no historical basis of success, instead you can make trades where history suggests this might be a smart decision. History suggests the odds might be in your favor. They don't all work out, as we saw from XLU, but this is what the idea is of our service. It's also worth pointing out right now, these are the filters down here for how you can filter which types of trade alerts you get. I have the 1 week filter selected here. We have other filters, and so you can kind of change exactly what trade setups you see alerts for. You can expand the selection. You can filter it to reduce the selection. And some days there's lots of alerts and it helps to have filters. Some days there's no alerts at all. And so basically we never force the issue. We never send trade alerts if we don't, if there's no trade setup that we see that day that has a back tested edge, like this, then we're not going to send trade alerts, because we're not going to give customers information for trades where there may not be an edge. So if you don't see alerts on a given day, it means we don't see any trade setups where there's a back-tested edge. And so that's basically what it means. So we're all about, take what the market gives us, and we're looking at trade setups constantly reviewing every trade setup we can find and determining which are the ones that have a strong back-tested edge. And in those cases, that's when we send the trade alerts. So some days there's a lot, some days there's not, and we go with the flow. So that's it. That's our review of those trade alerts. If you have any questions about our service or anything else, you can reach out to us anytime. Our email address here is support@stockmarketguides.com.